Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to the SLO City Together Podcast.
We're back.
We're back.
We keep saying we're going to be more regular, but
I'm going to be honest. We probably won't be more regular. It'll come in waves.
It'll come in waves.
Well, we will have regularity, but
yes.
For now, it's just good to be here. And I'm grateful for a new year.
2025.
And, 2025. It is cold. We have the heater on, but that is okay.
Yeah, it's freezing.
Yeah. Because friendship is a great source of warmth.
It is. What? That's why we have the heater on?
Well, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't make sense.
Because friendship is a source of warmth?
Yeah, that's why we have the heater on.
Okay. Yeah, there's for those of you who are listening or watching, there's no heating or air conditioning in our children's ministry, media room, nursery facilities, but we supply heat and air as needed.
Yeah.
And here we are.
It
is cold. It's very cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has been, we've had some cold mornings recently.
We have.
But that's okay. It is the winter time after all.
It is the winter time.
So, well, I guess that's it.
We'll be seeing you.
This was good. Good to catch up.
We're back on. I don't remember the last one we did. We always start this way, but I'm excited to jump into a new year. Yes. 2025 it's crazy that it's 2025 to me. I remember the year 2000. Do you? Yeah. How old are you?
I'm 28. So I turned 4 later.
When is the first New Year's you remember?
Oh, goodness. I think the only memory I have of a New Year, maybe 2008.
Wow.
Like the 2007, 2008.
Did you have a party?
I think there were people over at my parents' house.
Okay. Yeah.
I've always not liked New Year's very much.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
It feels a little sad, a little scary maybe.
Scary.
At least it did as a kid.
Sad and scary.
Yeah.
People are in my house. They're staying up late. They're yelling.
Yeah.
There's those kazoos.
I appreciate it more as an adult, but as a kid, I remember, there was some negative feelings towards it.
I want to explore that.
We can.
Why did you have negative feelings towards it?
So the reason I remember this particular New Year is because I believed that the end of the world was coming in like 2008.
Was that in the height of like apocalyptic literature, Left Behind series?
I think so.
End of Days, Arnold Schwarzenegger films?
I believe it was. I believe there was a rise at that time. I don't know. I think I was at the age where like I was that idea of like Jesus' second coming and all that kind of stuff was being more introduced. And it was. I was like, I'm only 12. There's so much I want to experience in this life.
I don't want to die.
I don't want the world to
end. I want to live forever, but I don't want to die to live forever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, genuinely. But now I actually do really appreciate the reset that a new year brings. And I don't know what it is about. I mean, even if it's a new week, if it's a new month, but especially if it's a new year, it just feels like it is a bit of a fresh start to kind of refine some habits and some routines and some rhythms. I don't know why it's not easy to do that in the middle of the year, but I'm grateful for the reset that a new year
it's a cultural kind of stop and restart.
Yeah.
That you're like, it's like the cultural permission is given to stop and restart.
Yeah.
It's weird.
But I also think, you come off of the holidays, which is a natural, like that breaks your rhythm. It is very much, for most people, I would say. Some people obviously still have to work or whatever it is. But in general, it's a slower pace and time to reflect and to dream. And so I think, and especially this year for me, coming out of that, like it was a very restful week or so between Christmas and New Year's. And I was hungry and excited for routine and to get back into the flow of normal life. So I think that's a big part of it as well. Yeah. What are your feelings around New Year's, or do you have any childhood New Year's recollection?
You just made me remember some, which is funny how that works.
Yeah.
I think when I was a kid, my parents used to go to like some dance or party down at like St. Aloysius like event center. I remember that now because they would just leave us home alone. We would just be sitting there, and that was weird.
Yeah,
really weird.
How old were you? Because you're the oldest.
I don't remember. Gosh, I mean, I had to be like late elementary school.
Okay.
And yeah, we were home alone. I think sometimes they would leave other kids with us. So it would just
safety
be
in numbers.
like, then they would come home, and I don't know if we were awake. I don't remember that, but the most, like the one I remember the most from high school, at least, was Y2K, because we were in Adam Davis's basement as high school students, waiting for like the
internet
TVs
to shut down
explode,
or whatever. Yeah.
like money would be shooting out of the ATMs. The power grid would fail. Everybody's like, I don't know if our computers can handle going from 1999 to 2000. And so we've come a long way as a society to now our computers telling us what we're thinking before we think it with AI.
Yeah.
And anyway, so yeah, that's the one I remember. But yeah, similarly, I think I get excited. I get excited about this time of year. I think, and similarly, it's kind of like sometimes can be sad. It can be like, wow, like life is flying by.
Yeah.
Time of gratitude, but also a time of reflection and like, wow, what was this year like? And I was not missing the routine, but I think I did miss the routine. Like I wasn't conscious that I was missing routine.
Yeah.
But now being back in it, I think I appreciate it. So
nice.
Good rest.
Yeah.
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 I remember being neglected by my parents on New Year's Eve and Y2K to answer your question.
Nice. We both have very positive experiences of childhood New Year's.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. So
yeah, we were up at we were with Abby's family on Christmas Day, and we're up there for a couple of days, and it was we barely left the house. It was a very chill, do nothing kind of, which was nice. But
Same.
it also makes you or for me it makes me appreciate it in the moment, and it makes me excited to get back into a routine of things afterwards.
Are you like
what it should do.
Does the routine bring motivation? Does lack of routine kill motivation in you, or does it? Because sometimes I think,
yeah, that's a good question. I don't know if it's motivation or, I get motivation's probably part of it. It's also like momentum for me. I think like if I have to start a day well, I would say to practice good habits. Yeah. Like I can't wake up at 9 a.m. and eat junk food and then expect to go for a run at 2 p.m. So I think that's the big part of it for me, is like momentum of I got up early, I ate a good breakfast, I maybe exercised, or at least set myself up well to do something active later in the day. So I think that's what it is for me.
I've been thinking about that a little bit this week, just because we talked about rest on Sunday, and then in our men's Bible study on Wednesday morning
and Monday evening.
In Sabbath. We talked, this Wednesday we talked about faith and works in James. We're reading James right now.
Oh, cool.
And we just kind of talked about like how sometimes you need to commit yourself to a work to help establish faith, and vice versa. Like you have to commit yourself to faith and faith works itself out. We were just talking about that correlation. And I think in my mind I was thinking like, there are some things that I know I need to do to motivate, influence, kick up my faith muscle. Yeah. Like as a habit, not like as, religious, self-righteous, just work for that sake. But like, I recognize the correlation between like, getting up, having a habit or a routine. Cause when I lose that, I kind of drift into some laziness and some apathy. And I think that's why I like routine. I like getting up earlier. I actually find it more restful to get up early. But I convince myself every night, like, I want to sleep in. Yeah. But then when I sleep in, I'm like, I feel funky. Yeah. And like it takes a while to like shake off. I don't know. I'm trying to, so all of that in the rest spectrum, trying to figure out like what is actually restful and brings renewal versus what is negligence of yourself. So anyway,
because that's a good, like that is the question that I wrestle with, especially on like, I consider Fridays my most like Sabbath-y day, because Saturday you're kind of getting ready for Sunday, and we've probably talked about that before. And but Friday is also like, that's when I'll go on a longer run or a longer bike ride, which is not physically restful. So I wrestle with that of like, does it feel good because it's something I really enjoy, or does it feel good because I just like need the productivity of that, you know, which is like contrary to what the Sabbath is. But so I kind of have to like check that a lot of like what you're saying, you know, negligence versus actually restorative, healthy rest and activity, you know.
This is like a sidebar, but I think like, because you're a runner, I'm a runner, which is, we should just call this the running club.
Okay.
I think like sometimes I need a good sweat and a good run to like get my body awake.
Yeah.
And it's not like I need it to accomplish it, but it actually helps me physically feel better. And I don't know, I have a very low resting heart rate. Do you have a low resting heart rate?
Yeah.
Like in the low 40s.
Oh,
like,
I think mine's like 50.
Yeah. So. Like I'm like 44, 43.
Yeah.
And so like sometimes like, I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's because I run or just because I'm
definitely helps.
Slowly dying.
But like, I think it's that. I think it has a lot to do with cardio.
But I think like sometimes I'm like, man, I just need I don't know. I'm thinking about a lot of those things right now as I'm getting older too, and thinking about, So that's aside. Like, do I need to run to like actually like physically wake up my body?
Yeah. And
wake up my mind and like a little adrenaline or dopamine hit. Like, I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah.
And then, but how do I handle that on the Sabbath? And am I okay with just not, with feeling low or feeling tired or feeling,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a struggle.
Give me an answer.
Well, I have heard it said, I don't know where this idea comes from, but perhaps you can credit it to someone. You know, if I've heard it said, if you work with your body, you know,
we've said body way too much.
Rest with your mind. So if you are a manual laborer, like, then on the Sabbath, like rest with your mind. Maybe that's if it's with movies or books or, you know, avoid physical activity.
Yeah.
But if you work with your mind, rest with physicality, you know, like do something, which I think is probably a good rhythm. I think the interesting thing about ministry is like it can be both. And maybe that's true of most jobs, is that there's probably an influx of both. But so
I have found that to be true, because I think the work week is very mind heavy, mental, emotional, relational. And so doing something physical, I miss physical labor.
Yeah.
I miss like a big yard where you have to like clear brush and all that stuff, cut the grass. And so I think that is helpful. That fits for sure.
Yeah.
There was another thought I had, but my mental is so tired that I need to run to be able to accurately describe what I was thinking.
Okay, we'll take a break. You run a lap.
No. And the flip side too, somebody told me like, you know, I don't know how this was described, but it's basically like if you're in an environment where you're, you know, highly relational, there's a lot of like conversation, and it's similar to like, say, like you need to practice like silence and solitude as well. And that's where in running too, is where I find that silence and solitude and quiet. And so again, this is turning into a running podcast, but
it's relatable.
Yeah.
Like that can apply if you play pickleball or like whatever it is, you know, if you surf, like, I think it's relatable in that.
Yeah.
But it is even I was talking with Thomas last night about playing video games, and I don't play video games regularly, but I have gotten to the point where I used to play a lot, but now I'll like play when I'm with friends, and it's actually really fun. Like I enjoy it.
With friends in the room or with friends online?
Friends in the room. Yeah.
Cause it's really interesting. I was never into video games. I mean, I had like some sports basketball games I would play with my little brother. Yeah. But now this like online gaming thing, it's so fascinating to see. Like I used to really be like, guys, get off. Like, don't be a gamer. Yeah. But there's actually community in it online. Like they are talking to each other through the headsets, and it's like, you don't want to, it's actually, and you listen to their conversations, it's like, oh, interesting. Yeah. Like when you link up with your friends over video games. Yeah. I still don't think it's the healthiest habit, but
sure.
There are the rest of like playing we pulled out the old original Mario as a family.
Nice.
And sat around and played that, and we're laughing at each other and talking. And it was good.
Yeah.
What
But even like the conversation we had was like there's a level of, and this is gonna sound ridiculous, there's like a level of stress in a video game or a game.
Yeah,
like, you know, when you're competitive, when you're but it's like, so yeah, I don't know that like rest is always the absence of something so much as it is like the reframing of something in a sense. So like, yeah, rest is not always,
or the rest is when you get to be fully human. Like that's when you're actually fully rested. Because we had a game night. Speaking of games, not gaming, but like
board games.
A board game.
Yeah.
Old school in categories, if that. The oldest game.
Yeah.
I'd actually never played it until that night.
Really?
Never.
That's a fun one.
it in our house. I don't think I've ever played it.
I used to play it with family quite a bit.
But even like I was so tired before that, and I was like, I don't want to go. I just want to sit on the couch. And
I was the same way.
Watch a game or scroll my phone or whatever. And I came, and it was like, oh man, this like actually was good.
Yeah.
For my heart, soul, mind, strength to like be with friends. You know, we're yelling at each other, laughing. We're, you know, arguing. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's human.
It is. Yeah.
Connection.
So it's like, it reframes the things that when required might feel like a negative thing to then you have like I don't know what the word is, but it becomes a delightful thing. You know, like I think that's something. I was not at there Monday, but I know like delight is a big word used in Sabbath, you know, talk. And so
Sabbath delight. Yeah.
That's a big component of that. So I do think that's probably, an important thing when just framing like what your restful activity is.
The conversation on Monday was interesting because I think I wanted the debrief to go a little longer and have more conversation because somebody brought up like, well, what you're driving on the Sabbath, and that's where they get like there's a question about like the rigidity of Sabbath.
Sure.
And there are parts of it that, you know, Allie even used the example of like, I still have laundry to fold and Sabbath is about to start. Do I fold it or put it down? And I think that even presented to people's mind like, oh, you take Sabbath really seriously.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
But then like the conversations that I've had since are like either the rigidity of Sabbath or what is the Sabbath intended for. So I don't know. Like I think it's unique for different people. Like Allie even used that example of like, if you love to drive. It's not work. It's like, if you love to fold laundry, fold laundry. Yeah. Like for people with kids, like I think they could hear parts of it and be like, well, that's impossible. I can't Sabbath or that. For sure. But like, I love going to Cole's basketball game. It might be the thing that brings me the most joy and delight in life right now is going to Cole's basketball games. That's and it will be Isla's basketball games and Keegan's lacrosse games and Hattie's volleyball games. But like I want to fight to be there, not just to like support my kid, because it's like, I love this. I care about it way too much. But so it might be turning into work, or it might be turning into like, something I need to rest from because I'm so worked up in it. Yeah. But I don't know. It was an interesting conversation.
Yeah. I had this thought actually this past Friday because I wanted to go for a bike ride. I had gotten a later start on my day than I had intended. And I was like, is it still worth it to carve out the 2-3 hours that it took me eventually, you know, to do it? And genuinely, like the thought that popped into my head, because I thought about like, okay, I've got some homework that's due. Abby and I had a call with our wedding planner that we had to do in the afternoon, and just different things. And that verse of like what Jesus says that, you know, man was not made for the Sabbath, but Sabbath for the man. Like genuinely helped me to say like, you know what? Like God created this day for me. Yeah. And so I'm going to go on that bike ride, even if it means neglecting like maybe some of the other things that I could have done. Wedding planning and homework. Not wedding planning. I made it back for the meeting. It was great. I still like was able to do some of the things that I, you know, felt like I had to do for the day. But even just having that like mindset going into the day like really helped shape my activity and approach to it.
It's important to realize like God is not shaming you for something that he wants you to feel delight, free, rest, stop. Figure out what's good for you, and And that sounds really postmodern, but it is. It's like, enjoy it. Like, step away from distraction.
Yeah.
Find soul rest. And it's not, so if laundry brings you soul rest, do laundry. If it's like, if cooking brings you soul rest, then cook. If cooking kills your soul, go out to dinner.
Yeah.
Like, go out to dinner.
Buy Trader Joe's frozen meal or whatever.
Gross.
Hey.
Well, the orange chicken is good.
I like the gyoza, the pot stickers.
Okay.
Those are a go-to.
How's wedding planning going?
It's going well. So we booked a venue back in December.
Okay.
And then the package that we went with included a full-on wedding planner, which we were not originally.
I was going to give you free wedding planning, but
your own personal service?
You could play. I could help plan your wedding.
Wow, that would be fun. We originally did not. We thought we would get a day of or a week of or whatever, a short-term coordinator. But this package just kind of ended up working for the best. And I think it ultimately will be good.
How many packages were there to choose from?
There were 3 different packages. Yeah.
This is the peasant package. This is the.
Oh man.
Sorry.
No, you're good. So but I think
you chose the high-end oligarch package.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We absolutely.
I used oligarch because Biden used that term yesterday.
Did he?
Sorry. Go ahead.
It's okay. So I think it works out for the best because she's in school full time at a different location, a couple states away, and so I think it just would have made us doing everything difficult.
Yeah.
But all at the same, we booked our DJ. Shout out to DJ Pete.
DJ Pete?
Yeah.
Nice.
Pete is a friend of Austin Lanham's, co-worker at Field Recordings.
Okay.
And Austin gave us the rec.
Nice.
Did Casey and Aaron's wedding as well.
Jordan and I didn't make the cut.
For the DJ?
Yeah, we had a bid in.
Oh, I didn't know that. We missed that.
Is Kentucky Monk performing at your wedding?
No.
You have any special surprises that you can't talk about that might happen?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I reached out to one local musician about potentially doing the music at cocktail hour. Little keys and vocals kind of situation, but he has not responded. I think it's in his hidden inbox.
Oh, spam?
Yeah.
Did you send it from slowcity.church? Because sometimes those emails go to the spam folder.
I did not. So.
All right. Well, that's exciting.
It's
very exciting.
It is exciting. It is. Yeah. It's wild.
And also
wild
work.
to think.
And also work that you have to rest from.
Yeah. That's true.
You probably shouldn't plan those on Fridays.
Probably not.
I'm joking.
Probably not. But yeah.
It's good for you though.
9 months away. It's in October.
9 months.
9 months away.
All right.
Which is wild to think about. So,
crazy.
But it's exciting. It's exciting.
It is exciting.
Yeah. Anything in your life that you're looking forward to, or that feels big and important?
Yeah, a lot of things feel big and important.
Yeah.
We're corporately as a church, like we're praying for a new space and a new facility, and so there's a lot moving and kind of like swirling in that area that I'm excited about.
Yeah.
Not stressed about it, but there's some excitement building there.
Yeah.
I think in our family, Jenna, I think only has 2.5 more classes left before she begins her practicum and internship stuff and finishing up her master's degree, which is really exciting.
So is that like...
And so she's been in school, like she is just dominating.
Yeah.
It's like, it's so much. She's got so much on her plate.
Yeah.
And with, women's ministry stuff here at the church and then kids' schedules and she's got school every day that is very involved.
For sure.
And lots of writing, lots of research, lots of projects and papers and but she's crushing it.
Awesome.
Are you gonna ask a question?
Well, I was gonna say, does that mean like will she be moving into that like into the summer? Is that kind of the timeline for it?
So I think I don't want to spill the beans, but I think she's gonna push pause on that just so we can, because the other big thing in our life is like, we've got a senior in high school, graduation's coming up, we've got family coming in town for graduation, which all those things are kind of falling into place right now. We're trying to plan like a little summer vacation, and then I want to take like a little writing break. And I've got it on my heart. I don't know if I should publicly say this. Maybe I should. Yeah. So I'm excited. This year I really want to write a book, not for anybody else, but for me and my like just to. There's like a thing I just feel like I've wanted to write for the past 2 years that I've just been too busy, and I gotta get in a rhythm of writing. I'm excited for that. I'm excited for Keegan's graduation, where he's going to go to school. I'm excited for the spring. I don't know. It's going to be good. I think this spring is going to be really special for our family. And if we, going back to the Sabbath thing, subtract some things from our life, we will experience an addition of blessing. And so the temptation is in busy seasons to say, like, we're going to do more moments and more things and more things and more things and more things. And you just kill yourself that way.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm stepping into this year. And I'm really excited about October. Luke's getting married.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about your wedding and how, I've been thinking about all the colors that I want to bring to it. And,
Yeah.
I've been really thinking about
your palette.
The placemats. Like I've been thinking about that a lot.
The chargers.
Yeah. And, I don't know if you want to go gold or silver. Or like
we're silver people.
Mauve cover. Mauve.
Well, we're both silver people.
Silver.
Definitely not mauve.
Mauve, is that a word? Is that a color? It's like it's like an off pink.
Yeah. Kind of a flesh tone.
Flesh toned pink. Oh my gosh.
Goodness.
So
what can I ask a little bit more? What do you mean by like writing break? Is that is that time to specifically work on?
Well, I think
that project.
I think like last year we discovered like we took like a mini break. It wasn't a sabbatical, so to speak, but our management team, leadership team encouraged like a 3 weeks off for like soul rest. And it was just a long run, man. Like there's a lot happened, transition. The church is about to be 5 years old, and we had kind of sprinted through those 5 years. This year, I think I recognized like how I could actually utilize time better and like for a more restful experience. And so I want to take a week or so with family vacation, and then maybe a week of intentional like dreaming and planning for where the church is about to head into the fall. And so writing out like, I'm doing this morning, I'm doing sermon series stuff even for the end of the spring and into summer. But I think like to have like a more full picture for the year, even from like a sermon preaching perspective, because that kind of filters down into everything else that the church does. So that's what I'm saying.
Cool.
Taking some time to do that.
I like that.
And even, I want to take a couple days to like write this thing that I have in my heart to write.
Yeah.
So, and it's not for, I don't know, the cynic in my head is like, of course, a pastor's writing a book, and it's, but I think for me, it's like, there's been so many experiences in the past 8 years that have kind of been told, but have never been like written. And like, even for me, just to look back over the past 8 years and say like, man, what did we just experience? Yeah. What did I learn? What does this say about like who God is, who I am, who we are as the people of God? And I'm like, I just want to like write it out, and it may just be totally rubbish and garbage, but I'm like, I feel like I need to get it out of my head because it's constantly up there.
I get that.
And even just to like creatively get it out, I think will be exciting.
Yeah.
So
I totally get
I'm
that.
kind of making myself accountable to it by saying it out loud.
Yeah.
But I preached a sermon when I came back from the summer break it was in the Unchanging series, and it was called Uncommon Calling. Mm-hmm. Do you remember that? Mm-hmm. Like how, and so like, I think that's like is it impetus?
Mm-hmm. Like the beginning?
The beginning of it. Like, I think like that's like, that message was about like how even being a human being, like you are unique, you are uncommon, you're not a fish, you're not a tree, you're not a rock. Yeah. Like God's breath is in you. And so even in that, like each individual has this uncommon identity and an uncommon calling that God puts on your life. And so when you start to discover that, what does that look like? Yeah. And how does God use you, bless you, form you, like change you? Mm-hmm. And so I kind of just want to write that like kind of realization for me, my family, our church. Anyway.
No, I love that. I get that like as, gone through points in my life where I've been more intentional about writing songs. And it does start from a place of like, there's an idea and it's like, I just want to hear how this turns out.
Yeah.
And I totally get that. And it's not like, even if you end up, publishing a song, publishing a book,
right.
It's not so much to like, it's more to like, yeah, you want to share it with loved ones.
Yeah.
But it's not so much as like, look at this thing that I made.
Yeah.
So much as it is like,
I got to get this out of my
head. Just like, here's what it is. Like if you like it and connect with it, awesome. But if not, it's just like almost a memoir for me to feel satisfied with a creative endeavor.
And like everybody does a podcast right now. Everybody writes a book. So it's not like I'm like, no publishing company is like, we really want to hear this story. No, they don't, but it's like, I really want to write this story.
Yeah.
Like that's what the thing is.
For
and it's
sure.
like,
that's awesome.
And yet I'm trying to fight for the time, because it does take time.
Oh yeah. And it's like, it's practice too. Like it's a muscle. Like you gotta exercise it.
The good thing is I write pretty much every day.
That's true.
In general. And so if I just added but my brain is so everywhere that I've learned to like, I've got to focus on one sermon 1 week. And if I start thinking about the next 4 this week, I'm just going to be, that's like the practice of like, do I need to carve out, I don't know. It's almost like, do I write on Sabbath? Do I? Because that's like a creative expression. And anyway.
That's good. Awesome. Well, this has been such a lovely conversation.
It has. I feel like I know you more.
I feel like I know you
You're
more.
a silver guy, not a mauve guy. I didn't think that.
Not rose gold.
No?
Not mauve.
So is her engagement ring silver?
Yeah.
Or like white gold?
It's it's silver.
Platinum?
What's platinum?
Titanium? Steel?
Platinum, I believe. Yeah.
You better be careful.
I know. So I'm going to get like a tungsten platinum wedding band.
Mine is titanium.
Titanium. Nice. I like it.
All right. Well, we're back for now.
Maybe we'll talk with you next week.
Maybe.
50-50.
50-50 chance.
But for now, this has been lovely.
It's probably a 30-70 chance.
Anything coming up you want to touch on?
Our good buddy Kyle Costello from Ohio is preaching this Sunday. Very on excited. Prayer. Tando is leading the next seminar on prayer on Tuesday night, not Monday. Martin Luther King Day. The office is closed, school's out. So we're going to push the seminar to Tuesday night. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
There's a baptism Sundays coming up. Start Here lunch is coming up. And groups at home kick off in February. And so a lot of things moving, shaking, baking, and but not like too much. So it's like I'm excited about these seminars. I think it's been really cool for people to kind of have handlebars to spiritual formation, and it's been really cool to see like almost 200 people a week showing up on a midweek night to learn about the life of Christ and how to grow in certain practices. So hope if you haven't made it out, we do food, we do childcare, and we do like seminar style lecture classroom setting. So it'll be really cool.
With like group discussion kind of built in as well, community.
And we're adding one into February. Tatum is going to teach a class or a seminar on the Gospels and race and kind of the history and conversation of that. So
very cool.
All right,
exciting stuff.
All right,
we'll talk with you soon.
See ya.
Peace.